Well, we try again, shall we? Stupid internet as per usual. But yes, this is Phoenix Motor Sim Sport. This is Mx5 series. Every Friday night, we'll be racing at Nurburgring for the season finale, and then there will be a 2-week break, and then 3 weeks later, we'll be back for season 16. The champion has been decided last week at Buenos Aires. Marcel Miku won the MX5 series this season, and also he won the Tata series yesterday, so a double champion is Marcel Miku this season at Phoenix Sim Sport. However, he will have huge challenges tonight because one of the returning drivers making his season debut is Parmesan, and he won, I think, 3 races in the 4 runs that he participated in season 14. So he will definitely be one rookie, well, quotation mark rookie, to look out for tonight. We got me, HC, and Arthur with me once again in the commentary box. Hello, Arthur.
Hello HC, I'm very excited for today. If I'm right, we also have a few other debutants like Toge today. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what they will all do against some of these established drivers from season 15.
Yeah, and Toge was actually also quite fast in the practice session, so potentially a lot of challenges tonight for our top 6 in the championship standings. They're all here tonight, but in terms of the championship positions, really the only fight is probably between Leila Petralia and Andrew Taggart, because they're separated by 12 points fighting for P5 in the standings, and because Miro Regibi is missing tonight, so the driver P7 in the standings will just stay P7.
Yes, indeed. I mean, Glenn Selk is 76 points behind, and it's final round of the season here at Nurburgring, a track which is 5 kilometers and 148 meters. That's a better way to say it. Located in the German Eifel region, and I must say, in real life, it's a very beautiful track. Same for the simulator here.
Yes, so we've got Parmesan going into the final corner. And let's see, the first benchmark time of the session is our 2:21.314. The championship winner, Marcel Miku, goes about 2 tenths slower, and that will put him P3 because Mr. Scoot has gone with a 2:21.437 to move up into second. And Toge goes to fourth on his first flying lap. Also a very fast driver. Barry, his nickname is El Madahi in the server, gets a very shaky exit coming out of the final corner that will affect his time this lap, as Alex Romsik sets a 2:23.907. Not ideal with the driver second in the championship because Burge is 26 points behind. And if Burge can, well, Burge still has an outside chance to take second place in the championship after losing the Tata Series yesterday. He's looking at a possibility of finishing second in the standings for Tata's MX5 and the IndyCar Series. Of course, he's wrapped up the VRC Formula Alpha Challenge series. At least he will win one of the 4 series that he attends in this season, as Alex Romsix gets out of the shape on the curve, but definitely not the best season for Sandy Burgee, considering he definitely has the pace to win all 4 series.
Oh yes, I mean, it. We must say that Marcel Miku just had a phenomenal comeback in the Tata series. I mean, I started commentating from the Barcelona race, and that's when he really made his great shift towards the championship. So it's very unfortunate for Sandy Burgee, but indeed, maybe he can grab redemption today and climb up into P2 in the standings here today.
Miko has either made a mistake or backed off his second effort, as my timing tower is still not working, but Parmesan improving by just 12 thousandths after 2 sectors. Going into the final corner, let's see if the German driver can push the benchmark even further ahead. As one of the other, oh my god, it's a 220.830. That is a astonishing lap from Parmesan. As Tom,
Exactly. He's
yes,
6 tenths off right now from Mr. Scoot in P2 and 7 tenths off of Marcel Miku. Earlier, I wanted to say that everything was looking very close in the 221s, but yeah, he's broken into the 220s now.
it's a brilliant effort from Toge. The Canadian debutant sets a 221.2 to go second fastest. We've got two debutants at the front of the pack right now as one of the other debutants, Tom Wolf from Croatia, joins the server late.
Oh yeah, a few seconds ago I did see Parmesan going a bit shaky at the exit of a corner go over the AstroTurf, but I don't think it will matter much because he still has a nearly 5 tenth gap to the car behind. So front row already two debutants locking it out as of now. I mean, we still have 1 minute left in the session and 45 seconds also, but
Yeah,
we'll see if anybody is able to improve today.
this is good news for the likes of Alex Romsix because if Bergy cannot challenge the top positions, then it's harder for Bergy to overturn the 26-point deficit that he has. Because basically, we are doing a 40-minute finale tonight, so the win will be 100 points. But the positions after the win, they're always separated by 12, 8 points. So if that's the case, Virgin needs to finish like 3 or even 4 positions ahead of round 6 if they are in the midfield battle. So the competition definitely is helping Alex Romsix to secure his second place in the championship. However, he doesn't seem that fast right now, 2.4 seconds off the pace.
Yes, exactly. But it will also make it difficult for Maverick to catch Leila Petralia in the standings, even though right now Leila Petralia has not set a lap in qualifying yet, and Maverick is already in the pits, and he will not have the time to set another lap, unfortunately. But quite a few positions he holds over Petralia right now.
Yeah, Parmesan is not going to improve. Let's see. Sandy Burgee is mired in traffic. He's caught Mr. Scoot, I think, at the end of the lap. Let's see if he gets affected at all. Yes, he does. It's not a personal best, and he is going to be right behind Mr. Scoot, going on to his final flying lap. This is not the
Nope,
best
he
way to.
stops.
Oh, yeah, he backs out. As Marcel Miku only goes fourth, so he's 6 tenths behind, but the championship winner now is seemingly struggling, and so is Maverick because he pulled off in a very weird place. He's probably got some. But why is he in the chat then? I thought he's got some VR issue. Oh, as Marcel
Ooh,
Miku is
Miku off on the wall.
off. Yeah, he's made a mistake at turn 2 and decided to give up. So he's going to start from P4 in this long race as Maverick does rejoin the server. So that's good. At least Rom6 does improve on his final effort, but he's still 2.2 seconds away. But the good news for him is, even though Burgee is a second ahead of him, Burgee is only one position ahead of him.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see that championship P2 spot battle go on for the next 40 minutes later, because 1 second is a big gap in racing, especially in these cars, but it's still only one position. Plus, what am I saying? Glenn Selk. Romsix has a 1 second gap on Glenn Selk as well,
That is
so
true.
I think we're going to see him a bit in no man's land, praying he has a good race without too much things happening to put him at a disadvantage.
It's a brilliant final effort from Parmesan. He's improved by 2.5 tenths after 2 sectors. He's going to absolutely destroy the field as it stands, but that's a speed that he has. He's shown that in season 14, even though he only did less than half of the season, and he's missed most of this season because of summer heat. So it's good that he can rejoin the series now, and if he does a full season in season 16, he's definitely the champion favorite.
Yes, exactly. I mean, he improved now to a 220.5. I mean, 7/10 on Toge yet again, who's only done a 221.2. So it's clear that the challenge for the P1 spot will probably stay with Parmesan, and he will probably not have a lot of fighting to do today. But anything can still happen. I mean, we still have to see how he's able to start today.
That is true, as Rom6 will be the final driver to come across the line, and he does improve in front of Bergie on the final lap.
That's great for him. I mean, he's really going to solidify his P2 spot in the standings here today, it looks like. Sandy Burgee really has to get a good start and hope Romsix drops back a bit, otherwise it will not go well.
Yeah, Alex has pipped Bergie by 47 thousandths of a second on the final effort. That is a good effort from Alex from 6. So I think clearly top 6 has the best pace. So even if Alex finishes P6, he will get 36 points, which means Bergie needs to finish top 2 in order to take second place in the championship. Because if Bergie finishes third, he'll get 60 points and he will only have 24 more points, but the gap now is 26. So a big mountain to climb for Sandy Burgee. He needs a bit of luck because Parmesan most likely will run away and Burgee just needs to beat the other 4 contenders.
Yes, exactly. So many spots and such a gap towards the front will be very difficult for him to climb. I mean, it looks about 6/10 gap, and it looks to be 6/10 gap in qualifying to Toge right now. The spot he will have to claim. So yeah, it's really betting my money on Alex Romsix right now.
Yes, but let's do a rundown of the grid. We've got the German debutant Parmesan returning after withstanding summer heat, and he's on pole by 7/10 of a second. The Canadian rookie Toge will start alongside him, just beating Mr. Scoot by about a tenth of a second. There was an incident between Mr. Scoot and Teja Sharma at the end of the qualifying session, but I think all is resolved as for now. The championship winner, the title winner, Marcel Miku, is starting in a rather unfamiliar P4, as we've got the guys battling for second place in the championship. Romsix and Bergie will both start on the third row. Glenn Selk and Maverick, aka Andrew Taggart, will start on the fourth row. So as it stands, if they finish as it is, I think Maverick will take P5 in the championship because Leila Petrali, after joining late in the session, didn't really get to set a real lap time, so she is starting rather far behind. As we await for 6 red lines to illuminate for the one and only time tonight, the 40-minute Nurburgring race is underway, and it's a good start from Parmesan. Toge didn't get the best launch. Mr. Scoot is already alongside the Canadian driver. The two green cars will go side by side down towards turn 1. Mr. Scoot going around the outside trying to squeeze Toge, and Toge gets squeezed on the curb, has to yield, and Mr. Scoot will have the inside line. He's cut across too
Ooh.
much. He's made contact with Toge, but they just about survive. Marcel Miku actually didn't get the best jump. He's still down in fourth, trying to go around the outside of Toge, but that doesn't work. So the top 4 well, stay top 4, but Toge has lost one position to Mr. Scoot as Bergie is challenging Alex from 6, but he can't do it around the outside of turn 5, and he is now under attack from Glenn Selk, who sends it to the inside. Bergie goes off into the grass, and they're making contact behind them. And Bergie needs to be careful returning to track, and he's almost spun it on the grass, and he somehow saves the car. We've got Barry making contact with Michele Carrara at the rear end of the field, and Kvyat's Vicious has almost caught in it, and Bergy is now down to P9 as Leila Petralia almost makes contact with. What a start by Leila Petralia! She was down in the last row of the grid. She's already past Maverick.
Yes, indeed, but I do see Carrera just pulled off to the side on the grass, not going anywhere, just parked.
Yeah, it must be an issue for the Italian driver then. Carrera probably having a bit of a technical difficulty that is very unfortunate in the season finale.
Well, yeah, they're moving again, but nearly wanted to make a joke that we need a recovery vehicle on track already, but yeah.
We're almost going side by side between Marcel Miku, who's got a good run on tollgate down towards the chicane. Marcel looks to the inside and brakes later and makes a move stick. He does locks up a bit and gets on the sausage curb. That's going to affect his exit. And the cutback brilliantly executed by Toge in towards the final corner. Toge fends on P3 for now, but he's on the inside. He's caught on the curb. That curb is really dangerous. Marcel Miku drives onto the grass to avoid a almost half-spin Toge, and Alex Romsix takes advantage and takes P4 away from the Canadian driver.
Well, yeah, I mean, side by side in the Coca-Cola curve there with Marcel Miku, I mean, he nearly made it stick without Toge even having to spin out nearly. So great move there from him, but he did go wide a bit there. As at the front, it looks like Mr. Scoot is slightly catching on Parmesan.
Yeah, down the inside went Bergy. He's challenging Maverick, but he got caught on the inside curb, so he had a full opposite lock on the exit. This means they're going to stay side by side in towards turn 3. This is all helping Alex as Bergy hits Maverick in the right rear. And somehow they both save their car. A bit of a misjudgment from the British driver as he hit the Irishman.
Oh, yes, indeed. I mean, contact is more common with these cars, but it's usually in a bump drafting matter, so hope to see that here somewhere soon, and then not door-to-door contact, but we'll see. I mean,
What a
it's still a
run!
great track.
What a run by Mr. Scoot! The gap was 9/10 of a second across the line. It's down to 2/10 already.
I think it's clear who has better race pace at this point and who has the better qualifying pace, as they're nearly going side by side into turn 10, the RTL curve. Around the outside goes Mr. Scoot. It doesn't work yet. Slide there from Parmesan, as right now down the inside goes Mr. Scoot, who pushes onto the grass with a bit of contact as they're going into the NGK chicane, or the run down into the NGK chicane. First a flat out curve there.
He's done it.
Heavy braking they will have to do.
Yeah, Mr. Scoot defends inside line now. He wants that lead. Parmesan is not going to back out easily. Around the outside, trying to push the door open. Mr. Scoot closes the door as Toge passes Alex Romsix up into P4 and Bergy finally clears Maverick up into P8. So clearly, both Alex and Bergy are struggling for pace tonight as Marcel Miku now has joined the fight for the lead.
Well, yeah, it looks like we might have a fight for P1 all around the race, and I really hope these three can keep up a battle for the next 35 minutes here.
Yeah, and if they battle too hard, I think Toge probably also has the pace to latch onto the back of this train, considering how fast he cleared Alex Romsix.
Yeah, exactly, and I think Parmesan, he doesn't look to have the best race pace here today. I mean, qualifying he really went fast as Maverick disconnects from the server apparently. But
something's wrong. So that means Leila Petralia will take 15th place in the championship then, as she is now challenging Glenn Selk to the inside of turn 4, but she couldn't make the move stick. I think Maverick is definitely dealing with some sort of a VR issue as Tom Wolf has spun in a very weird place. He spun on the outside of turn 2. He must have gone onto the AstroTurf.
yeah, exactly. I mean, AstroTurf, they're very dangerous. I mean, multiple places around this track where you have very sketchy AstroTurf, other places where you still have quite a lot of room to make mistakes. That clearly wasn't one of those spots in the Mercedes arena section there.
Yes, we got Leila Petralia putting piles of pressure on Glenn Selk. Clearly, Leila's low qualifying position is well, because she joined the session late and couldn't do a clean lap. She's got good race pace here and pushing to the inside of Glenn Selk. They're going to go side by side down towards turn 10. Leila in the purple car around the outside. Glenn Selk defends the inside line. Leila goes for the cutback. As Michele Carrara also has an issue after the opening lap collision. He has also retired from the session. Leila Petralia continues to go for the cutback and now right on the bumper of Glenn Selk down towards the chicane. Can she make the move around the outside?
I mean, she is on the racing line, but Glenn Selk will have the inside line for this corner. Leila Petrali is ahead right now, though, so it's all looking at the braking here as Glenn Selk moves further a bit. Leila Petralia cuts the corner slightly and loses the position.
Side by side for the lead. Parmesan gets around on the inside of the final corner. He got a brilliant launch coming out of the chicane, and Mr. Scoot almost drives onto the grass a little bit to try to not make contact with Parmesan. They are squeezing down towards turn 1 with the championship winner Marcel Miku keeping a brief watching distance. Parmesan sends it to the inside, and they leave each other space. He'll be on the outside of turn 2. Can he close the door? No, Mr. Scoot is still on the inside in the green car. They're going to go side by side down towards turn 3. It's another left-hander as Marcel Miku breaks really late around the outside. He'll get the best drive coming out of turn 4. Marcel Miku is setting up the exit absolutely perfectly as Parmesan gets squeezed onto the curb and loses all sorts of traction. Marcel Miku is already alongside Parmesan and going towards the inside of turn 5. Marcel Miku is up to second.
What a brilliant move. I mean, one thing I will say is that he will continue on his streak of podiums every single weekend here in the Mx5s, which is amazing to see as he right now has the slipstream on Mr. Scoot going down into the Dunlop curve, if I am correct. Yes, it is still behind right now, but into the Schumacher S. He will have to yield there, but yeah, he will have to find a place to overtake later.
We've also got the fight for P6, 7, and 8. So we've got 2 3-car fights that I have to try to change cameras to at the same time as Parmesan gets the run actually coming out of the fast chicane. And he is looking to the inside of Marcel Miku, making a daring launch down the inside of turn 10. Marcel Miku gets scared off the circuit a bit, so that's going to affect his momentum through turn 11. And Mr. Scoot now has a 0.5 of a second buffer as Leila Petralia sends it to the inside of Glenn Selk down towards turn 11. Glenn Selk has to open the door, and now Sandy Burgess is right behind them as Parmesan now side by side with Marcel Miku. Parmesan is passing Marcel Miku around the outside before the chicane, and Parmesan retakes second position as Burgess now alongside Glenn Selk. Glenn Selk pushing Leila Petralia forward. They're about to go almost 3 wide into the chicane. Glenn Selk dives it, and somehow he takes P6 back, and Sandy Burgess going around the outside of Leila Petralia. And Leila Petralia, who enters the chicane at the front of this train, is almost exiting it at the back of this train, but she does fend off Burgess towards the final corner as Marcel Miku is right on the bumper of Parmesan again, pulling to the outside of turn 1.
I mean, I must say we're only 10 minutes into a 40-minute race and it's already filled with action right now as Sandy Burgess and Leila Petralia and Glenn Selk are all heading down into turn 1 right now.
And Glenn Selk goes wide.
Behind.
Glenn Selk goes wide himself, so Leila Petralia's line got compromised. Burgess is going to try to head all the way around the outside. Glenn Selk fends off the inside line. Burgess goes onto the AstroTurf and gets the opposite lock. But Glenn Selk is doing the perfect defensive job. Leila Petralia has nowhere to go. Sandy Burgess has nowhere to go. But Leila Petralia is pushing the door open and she has almost spun herself, trying to go to the inside and getting caught on the curb. And she has dropped behind Sandy Burgess. Down to P8 goes the Italian driver.
Yeah, I must say that was a very ambitious move, and like you see right now, it didn't pay off. They do all have a bit of slipstream going down into the Dunlop curve right now. Very good overtaking opportunity. If you can make it stick, it's best to go around the inside because you can be easily pushed wide onto the gravel there. So you see Sandy Burgess closing in right now. Late apex, great exit. He will not be able to make the move right now into the Schumacher S, but there's still in a line of 3 right now, nearing a heavy braking zone. Sandy Burchi looks to go around, but no, he
3
slipstreams a
wide.
bit. 3 wide.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh, contact!
Contact there with, as
Oh!
Burchi goes very, very deep there. Good that there's a lot of runoff there, but yeah, he does lose quite a lot of time right now because he made some contact with Leila Petrelli, who was half on the grass there.
Yeah, that is going to be his challenge for second place in the championship gone shortly. He is now 13 seconds behind Romsix as Vicious had a moment there in the first sector. So Barry is now back up to P11, chasing down the other debutant, Wolf.
Oh yeah, and Mr. Scoot still leading the race right now. Starting another lap. Did set the fastest lap with a 2:21 last lap, so very great to see as he turns into turn 1. Parmesan and Marcel Miku still behind, but the gaps are starting to form a bit.
Yeah, incidentally, the second fastest driver last lap was Toge in fourth. So the Canadian, after a poor lap one, has found some pace now after he's settling down in the rhythm. He could still join this battle as Marcel Miku does kind of drop back from the top to a bit as Leila Petralia goes for the cutback. Now she has the inside towards turn 3 and she passes Glenn Selk, but she's gone way, way, way too deep. Glenn Selk will get around coming out of turn 4. They're going to go side by side down towards turn 5. Glenn Selk has the inside line. Can Leila Petralia close the door on him? The answer is no, because Glenn Selk is
No,
ahead into the corner. So Leila Petralia still has to be stuck behind Glenn Selk, which she doesn't want to be. She opens the door up in turn 6, and she is through.
I must say those two are having a great battle, as we can see Sandy Burchi in the background there starting to catch back up there. I mean, it'll be very, very fun to see the 3 go 3 wide again and battle. And we know Burchi has a pace for it, but yeah, an unfortunate incident, of course, put him back there.
Yeah, I think Bergie has not practiced for the Mx5 series this week at all because he can't win this championship. There is still an outside chance he can win the IndyCar championship, but that is very likely unless the current championship leader does not attend the race. But you can only finish second in the IndyCar season. As Parmesan now gradually getting closer to Mr. Scoot again, and he's got a brilliant run coming out of the chicane. The gap has shrunk from 8 tenths down towards nothing. Parmesan sends it, and Mr. Scoot sees him and leaves him space.
Oh yeah, he's going defensive right now, Mr. Scoot. Parmesan, that exit out of the chicane right there was so much faster and so much more smooth. He's really using all the sausage grips there for rotation, as we might see a move happen into turn
Oh
1 right
my
now.
god!
Parmesan goes to the racing line. Around the outside, maybe. No, not yet, but he does have the inside run here.
He sent
Ooh,
it.
they make contact.
He's
But
absolutely
what a
sent
move,
it.
though.
And Mr. Squid is sending it back down towards turn 3. These two want to have the best fight of the season. Mr. Squid now on the outside of turn 4, and Marcel Miku is closing in. Once again, he may not have the raw pace to fight for victory, but these front two are constantly battling, and you can see Toge in the other green car right behind the three of them now as Mr. Scoot on the inside defends Parmesan, kind of squeezing him. Parmesan gives him the squeeze back and makes the position up. Coming out of turn 5, Parmesan has the lead. Mr. Scoot getting the slipstream, forcing Parmesan to go to the most inside line possible. And down towards turn 7, he's squeezing him again. Bumper car stuff here at Nurburgring.
Yes, and we also see Toge. You know, he's in the fight as well right now. He is right now very close to Marcel Miku as we see two cars go side by side into the Schumacher as Mr. Scoot takes a position right now. How will Parmesan respond into the next corner?
Well, Mr. Scoot fends off the inside line, so there's one way Parmesan can go. All the way around the outside of turn 10. He's on the AstroTurf. He's hit Mr. Scoot. They somehow stay alive. Down towards turn 11. Marcel Mico has nowhere to go. Marcel Mico's put the blinking lights on. And he's on the grass. And he's trying to pass Parmesan. They almost both die. It could be a 4-car collision in towards turn 10. There was an audacious send around the outside by Parmesan, but he might lose out if he can't brake as late as Marcel Mico in towards the chicane. Mico cuts the curb but doesn't want to hit Parmesan. Parmesan cuts the curb and almost speaks himself. And Toge gets the best run out of the
Toge
three.
now.
They're going 3 wide into the final corner. This is not possible. Toge backs off. Or does he? Marcel goes wide onto the grass, trying to leave space, and somehow he's still getting the round. He's around the outside of Parmesan and passing Toge as well. Toge doesn't have the toe. Parmesan can bump Marcel Mico forward. That's exactly what the German driver is doing right now. But they are still 3 wide down towards turn 1. And Parmesan back into second.
I must say, the way these drivers are able to keep it clean without contact, 3 wide into the Coca-Cola curve earlier and there into turn 1, it's amazing and brilliant to see. I mean, the track was made for it and they're really using all of it to make these beautiful moves.
The problem is, Mr. Scoot now has a 2.3 second lead. They need to settle down, otherwise the American driver is going to run away with the lead. They all have the pace, but it's the fighting that's costing them time. It was a fight for P1, so they're costing each other time, so that's okay. But now it's become a fight for P2, as Sandy Burgee did pass Glenn Salk last lap, with absolutely no chance to switch the camera to that one, as Burgee now chases down Leila Petralia for P6.
Well, yeah, I mean, what I haven't seen enough of today, which would really help them in this case, is bum drafting each other all the way back to P1 there. I've only seen bum drafting on little parts of very short straights, but not the long ones, so I should really start using them.
We've got Maverick diving down the inside of Barry down towards turn 1. Maverick, after a technical issue, rejoining the session. He's recovering from the back end of the field, but he couldn't make the move stick on the Libyan driver. As Maverick now goes for the cutback towards turn 2, he will have the inside line for turn 3. And surely that is move complete for the Irishman. And he does, or does he? Barry gives him a tap, yeah, on the rail, on the exit of turn 3. But oh, Barry has spun himself onto the grass. And the debutant is not really doing well as Marcel Mico gets close to Parmesan into the chicane. But they are still losing time to Mr. Scoot. The gap at the front now, 2.5 seconds.
Marcel Mico really has to start thinking about bum drafting if he wants to keep this podium, because anything can happen if they keep battling, especially this early on. We're nearly halfway through this race here today. Mr. Scoot really just running away with it. Not a care in the world. He can do whatever he wants right now.
I think the most boring person in the whole lobby is probably Alex Romsix. He can't catch the front 4, but the other drivers are too slow compared to him. He's literally doing a Sunday drive to secure P2 in the jump. However, if Mr. Scoot wins, Alex needs to finish top 6, so he is okay. He's safe.
Exactly, and I mean, if they keep battling at the front, he might be able to catch them. And
mistake for Marcel Mico. Sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah, no, I saw it's getting close. They're losing also the time to Parmesan right now, which is not good. Toge really mid-race pace has been turned on as we don't see him make a move yet.
Yeah, he's choosing to stay put, stay behind the season 15 champion. But Marcel Mico, as we saw early on in the race, when Parmesan and Mr. Scoot were not fighting, Marcel Miku did get dropped a bit. It doesn't seem like the Czech driver has the best pace tonight, and Toge is closing in down towards turn 10. The Canadian looks to the inside and trying to pass the Czech around the outside. They both leave each other room. Toge is now on the outside of turn 11. Marcel Miku fends off the corner. Toge goes for the cutback. That's very, very clever. He'll get the run again down towards the chicane, but he's on the wrong line. I mean, he's on the racing line, but Marcel Miku has the inside line. Toge, however, gets a shorter run, being on the inside of the right-hander. He's itching forward, itching ahead, and going to the chicane. Marcel Miku lets him go.
Yes, as of now at least, as he's cutting back up right now, they're going side by side, probably into the Coca-Cola curve yet again. We don't see a repeat of last time with Toge nearly spinning, so that's great to see as Mr. Scoots has the fastest lap with a 2:21.1. Side by side again from Toge and Marcel Miku. I think Marcel Miku is really not wanting to give up this position just to keep his podium streak going.
I think Marcel Miku learned from his battle with Parmesan. He braked too late on the inside for that one, so they cost each other a lot of time. He's now choosing to brake earlier and getting the exit out of the chicane. That's why he is now once again drawing alongside Toge around the outside of turn 2. But surely into turn 3, Toge can have the optimal racing line. Marcel Miku will set the corner up, but Toge is now through it. See Marcel Miku, absolutely wonderful. To the inside of turn 4, the season 15 champion is back up to third.
I think what really screwed with Toge there is not going close enough to the apex. I think the wider line was more efficient than missing the apex there, and that's really what made Marcel Miku stick the move there. As Alex Romsix, I mean, he is getting closer and closer.
He's joining the fight because these two have cost each other so much time. They're now 3.8 seconds behind Parmesan and 7 seconds behind Mr. Scoot. The chance of a victory is gone now. These three are fighting for the final podium spot as Tom Wolf sends it to the inside of Teja Sharma. They're going to go side by side coming out of turn 1 for P9. This is a good position for the debutant to fight for as Tom Wolf tries to set the cutback, but he can't do so.
Oh, indeed. I mean, good to see that they're still fighting low for these places here in the grid. I mean, we haven't seen anything of Leila Petralia and Sandy Burgee lately, as they're also not really battling at this point. Sandy Burgee is right now just in the chase.
Yeah, I think Burgee also didn't practice at all. I think 2 hours ago he was practicing IndyCar still. So I don't think he's done. I think qualifying was literally his practice, so he's well out of it. In the Mx5 series, as Marcel Miku gets caught on the curb, Toge also gets caught in the middle of the chicane, so they both get a wobbly exit. Now Marcel Miku cuts the curb in the final corner. This will affect his exit. Chance for Toge in turn 1.
Yes, we'll really see what happens here, because Marcel Miku is already on a very, very defensive line right here, but Toge does have the inside line as we're heading into the braking zone of turn 1 right now. Who will come out ahead? It looks like Marcel Miku with a wider line right now makes a move stick better, and Toge is still behind. Marcel Miku retakes the racing line and still leads his P3 spot there.
Yeah, I think Toge is being rather cautious because this is his debut after all. Unlike Parmesan, who did do a lot of racing last season, so he knows how harsh he can be in these cars. I think Toge doesn't want to do any stupid dive bombs on your first race in the server, so he's erring on the side of caution. He could have made it stick, I think, a lot of the times, trying to close the door more aggressively because clearly he's faster than Marcel Miku. Marcel Miku keeps making mistakes in these direction changes at turn 4, turn 5, as well as turn 10, turn 11, as Tom Wolves, unfortunately, has had a spin trying to chase down Teja Sharma coming out of the final corner, and he's going to lose P10 to Maverick, as Marcel Miku once again he's using a lot of the track, but it's not necessarily the fast way to go right now.
Yeah, no, and right there, the second apex, or the first apex really, of the Schumacher S there really bent the car out of shape a bit, which gives Toge nearly a run there. Not enough, but for these cars, using all these curbs for rotation is not really necessary. It's more necessary for your touring cars, your GT3s, because they require it to turn better. These MX5s, they don't carry through that much speed, so the mechanical grip is already enough. These curbs are really more unsettling the car most of the times.
Toge is still close enough, but yeah, he's not standing. He sent Marcel Miku wide though. Marcel Miku gets off for the dummy, but Toge couldn't make the move, and now Alex Romsik is right behind the pair of them. The orange car of Alex is looking to the inside. The Hungarian driver couldn't take advantage. Parmidon sets a fastest lap of the race at 2:20.9. He is now 1.7 seconds behind the race leader as Leila Petralia gets sent. On the inside is Sandy Bergi, the British driver, trying to overtake the Italian driver, but Leila Petralia will get the drive because she is on the outside line. They're going to go side by side down towards turn 1. The purple car of Leila Petralia, the white car of Sandy Bergi. Leila Petralia edges out ahead because she had a better exit out of the final corner. Now she has to defend the inside line. Bergi tries to break later around the outside. Can Bergi set up the exit?
Whoa, he
Oh!
spins! He spins! My god! Both of the drivers. I mean, first we saw Petralia dip a wheel in there, but Bergi followed a bit too much and he spun out right there. Yet again, I mean, an issue from him. Very unfortunate to see. But it happens.
Yeah, very unfortunate indeed. And good evening to Nick Neville in the chat. But yeah, that is what lack of practice can do to you. Even though the MX5 cars are not the most difficult to drive, you still need practice to be able to drive them fast.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's what I find fun about every car. I mean, some cars are easier to drive than others, but to be at the top, you still need to put in so much time and practice just for a thousandth of a second at times. Parmesan, though, right now looks like he's catching
He's so fast.
Mr. Scoot again.
He's so
really flying right here.
And Toge is trying to attack Marcel Miku again. He needs to make a decisive move. He needs to kind of throw caution into the wind a little bit. He's clearly faster than both Marcel Miku and Alex Romsik so far in race pace. He's got a good run again towards the inside of Marcel Miku, but once again, he just brakes a bit too early, which means Marcel Miku can stick around the outside and retains his third position. So, yeah, I think he just needs to tune his aggressiveness up a notch as Parmesan sets a fastest lap again.
What I've noticed thus far is most drivers are not committing in the final chicane. They're sometimes taking one of the sausage curbs or no sausage curbs. Compared to Parmesan, almost every time I've seen him drive there, he flies through there, takes the rotation perfectly. It's like a straight line for him there. Very, very interesting to see, and I think that's what really gives him the upper hand here today.
Yeah, to be able to take curbs is very crucial in these cars. As Toge once again looking to the inside of Marcel Miku, almost touching the bumper of the season 15 champion. But again, the Canadian just can't make the move. As Parmesan now within 8 tenths behind Mr. Scoot.
Mr. Scoot is going to have to be very careful now. We're nearly into the final 10 minutes of this race, and Parmesan has shown, mainly in qualifying, I think he's just very good on low fuel.
That is a possibility.
I mean, qualifying we saw him top the timesheets by about 7 tenths, if I'm correct. Right now, we're nearing the end of the race. Fuel is lower, and he's again flying, catching Mr. Scoot, who had a very big lead at some point.
Yeah, because this would be exactly the amount of fuel they take in qualifying, because we are into the final 10 minutes of the race. So this is now Parmesan territory.
Want to know what would suck? One of them now having a little too less fuel near the end of the race and maybe running out, but I don't want to jinx anything. But
Yeah, I think you only need to put in like 1 more liter to be safe. I think 1 liter doesn't change the balance of the car or the speed of the car. I think nobody's going to make such a huge error, at least not the top guys, as Mr. Scoot does
Yeah,
take a lot of curb this time. But once again, you can see Parmesan's car just sticks perfectly. And Mr. Scoot got
exactly.
two kind of rare snaps coming out of the chicane after bouncing off the curb. It's gone wide! And, oh my god! Excuse me, he's almost spun out of the final corner and almost choked me. And Parmesan sets another fastest lap of the race.
Again! What is this now? 3 laps consecutively, setting the fastest lap as he's setting the pressure right now on Mr. Scoot. He tries to look around the outside, doesn't make it work. Now he has the inside line. Contact there. I mean, that was very close from Mr. Scoot of just forcing a driver off track, but I don't think Parmesan cares right now. I think he has set his sights on P1 right now at his home track. I don't know if he lives closer to another track, but it's still his home country. He wants this win. He feels the thirst and he goes for it.
It's absolutely crazy how fast Parmesan is. It's absolutely crazy how much defense Mr. Scoot is pulling on. Going into the left, going into the right. Parmesan just gets a perfect run and he bumps Mr. Scoot off. He was carrying so much more speed through towards turn 5. There was nothing he could have done. He almost tapped Mr. Scoot round, but once again he's close behind him. 3/10 is the gap, setting up the exit towards turn 7, letting Mr. Scoot round deep, and look at the run Parmesan gets. So this is gonna be a chance down towards turn 10. If not, the chicane will be Parmesan's brilliant opportunity to overtake.
Honestly, this track is so beautiful for racing. I used to not be the biggest fan of it. I found the track, especially turn 1, sector 1, very difficult, but once you race here or visit this track real life, which I really recommend, it's so much different. You have so much more appreciation for it.
As Toke looks to go around the outside of Marcel Miku, but he couldn't make the move. Parmesan is really close, 2:10 separating the top two in the race, and Mr. Scoot this time couldn't close the door. Parmesan is to the inside of the chicane. Oh,
Oh, contact! Mr. Scoot gets bumped off a bit as he cuts the chicane, it looked like.
Parmesan lets him go. Parmesan is letting him go. He's braking.
What good... I must say that's very great sportsmanship. I mean, even after Mr. Scoot literally a lap ago bumped him off at the exit of turn 1, so I think Parmesan, he wants to win. He needs his win, but he doesn't want to take it with a dirty bit of contact, so great on him. Very beautiful to see again into turn 1. Putting the pressure on Mr. Scoot. We still have 6 minutes left, so it's going to be around 3-4 more laps. Really hope 4 more laps so we can definitely see something happen.
Yeah, as Burgi sent it around the outside of Selk into the chicane, it doesn't work, but now he set up the exit perfectly. He'll get the brilliant run down towards turn 1. Glenn Selk literally hugging the pit wall, trying to fend off the inside line, and he's doing so effectively as Toge is trying to move around the outside of Marcel Miku, getting the cutback, and no, he's not made a stick. How about Burgi? Burgi is around the outside. He can't make a stick as well. Glenn Selk, once again, like we saw in Machone, I think, is putting on a ridiculous defensive move.
I must say it's unfortunate that he couldn't defend longer from Sandy Burgi and Leila Petrali, but he's still making the best of what he's got, and it's really beautiful to see that level of defense as Sandy Burgi there goes wide. You can take a decent bit of track limits there and really flies back close towards Glenn Selk. Both drivers executing perfect stadiums of racing, one in defense, the other in attacking. So I'm really excited to see how this ends here.
we have 3 separate battles as Toge is the closest one towards the inside of Turntail. Marcel Miku trying to push the door open, but Marcel has the inside line down towards turn 11. We need to go to the front because Parmino is looking to the inside of Mr. Scoot again. They bump, they touch, they spin. Parmino is in the gravel. Mr. Scoot has spun around and they almost make contact on the grass. And what's gonna happen now? Mr. Scoot is reversing. Marcel Miku is coming down towards the chicane. They just about avoid Mr. Scoot. Marcel Miku back up to second. Toge is now up to third. And Mr. Scoot down in fourth.
What happened there even? I mean, I wasn't able to see it.
They were just bumping like they did last lap. They're coming towards the chicane. They were bumping before the chicane. And they just put each other on the grass. That was very, very wild, and I've lost all sense. Parmesan can't wait for Mr. Scoot now because Mr. Scoot is down to fourth, and look at Toge to the inside of turn 1.
So Miku really aggressive on the steering there on turn, and he still has the inside line right now, defending. He's keeping his podium dream still alive though. I mean, with the incident between Mr. Scoot and Parmesan, he's on a better footing right now, but it might not last because Toge is really putting the pressure on him. We can see mistakes from both of these drivers in the upcoming laps.
And Toge going to the right, going to the left. He needs to be aggressive because if he doesn't, Mr. Scoot is right there to re-overtake the pair of them. As Marcel Miku goes wide towards turn 5, down towards turn 6. Toge still cannot pass Marcel Miku. It's been a brilliant defensive display from the Czech driver. Even though he's definitely far from the fastest tonight, he's still trying to hold P2 strong.
I think this is really one of the best races we've had, despite not really seeing any championship fights. We've seen so many battles with 3 cars, 4 cars, fighting, hitting each other, spinning. So much in this one long race. It's very nice to see. As you see Toge going down the inside of Marcel Miku. Will he make the move stick?
Oh, he's almost spun himself on the curb.
Marcel Miku has the inside line right now. They make contact. Nothing bad happened. But this does give Mr. Scoot the better run compared to Toge. He's bum drafting, it looks like right now. Or not yet. Marcel Miku side by side with Toge again. It's weird to say where they are, but Marcel Miku leading into the chicane right now. Will he still keep the position?
He's got deep.
Yes, he will, but he's side by side. Spin! Contact!
Well, there was contact between Toge and Marcel Miku, and Mr. Scoot trying to avoid the pair of them, almost spun himself. And now Alex Romsix is up into P3 to the inside of the final corner. My goodness. How
Mr. Scoot really, I must say Mr. Scoot has had the worst luck so far this race. And Alex Romsix, however, what luck does he have? I mean, people say in Formula 1 that George Russell does nothing and gets a P3.
No!
I think we might see that from Alex Romsix as Marcel Miku makes contact with Toge. But he does return the position at the cost of a podium. My God. What is happening?
Lap. We are on the final lap. So can Alex Romsix, after doing absolutely nothing the whole race, take P2 in the final round?
This is just pure cinema at this point. I think the stewards will also have a lot of fun looking over these incidents because so many things have been happening in these last few laps.
I think also Marcel Miku was trying to let Toge go in turn 3, but Toge lifted off the throttle. I think Toge thinks he spun himself there, so even though Marcel Miku has offered to let Toge go, Toge has decided to stay behind Marcel Miku, but they will still get the run down towards the chicane for the final overtaking opportunity. We're on the last lap of the race. Parmesan is going to win somehow, some way. I mean, he is the fastest driver in the lobby, but this might be one of the most chaotic, the most hectic win that Parmesan has ever gotten. And Mr. Scoot now still chasing down Alex Romsix. The gap is 1 second. Alex needs to be careful in turn 10-11. Mr. Scoot is really fast. but I don't think he's gonna be close enough. Toge is though. Marcel Miko slides in turn 10. Toge gets around, gets on the AstroTurf. He will have the run down towards the chicane.
Well, yeah, I mean, with Miku giving the position and Toge probably thinking he spun himself, it is at the cost of Marcel Miku's own podium chances right now.
But Toge is
As
to the
I'm
inside.
looking,
Toge is trying to make the move cleanly this time to the inside of Marcel Miku. He's been braking earlier into the chicane. He's braked earlier once again. Marcel Miku is able to go around the outside. Toge tries to set up the exit, but he can't. Meanwhile, at the front, Parmesan, the returning German driver, takes victory at Nurburgring for an absolutely brilliant season 15 finale as Mr. Scoot finishes just 3 tenths behind Alex Romsix. My goodness, Toge also finishes just 3 tenths behind Marcel Miku. What a brilliant battle we've seen tonight. Absolutely outstanding.
I must say, what a great race from Parmesan as he parked there on the main straight. Again, got hit by Mr. Scoot, unfortunately. So, some things don't change clearly, but still, great race from all the drivers involved. I mean, a great season finale also. I get why we do two 20-minute rounds because it keeps racing closer, but this 1 40-minute round also really delivered here today.
Championship implications. I think. Ooh. How many points did Mr. School get? No, he's 40 points behind Burgee, so yeah, he's not going to be able to overturn the deficit. As we are seeing a replay on stream right now, I'm trying to watch the first bit of contact between Parmesan and Mr. Scoot. This was down towards the chicane. So Mr. Scoot tries to hang around the outside, yet Parmesan kind of braked too late and used Mr. Scoot as a brake. So he let Mr. Scoot go before the final corner. Then they made contact again on the straight this time. Let's watch from Parmesan this time. He got a great run coming out of turn 11. And towards the little right king, he's going to the outside of Mr. Scoot. Ooh. I mean,
It's difficult to say because, I mean, they're
I
getting.
don't know. I think, see here, Mr. Scoot tries to close the door, but he sees Parmesan almost as an overlap, so he kind of turned right. But then he's trying to turn in left while Parmesan is turning right, so they kind of just turned into each other, and then the physics made both of them just spin out.
It's very difficult to say, of course, for such an incident, but you could kind of chuck it down to a racing incident because, you know, Parmesan gets the space from Mr. Scoot originally, but it's clear Mr. Scoot afterwards wanted to put the pressure on him, push him really towards the inside line too much so that he couldn't make the corner. And I think the contact happened there, and yeah, the rest is history. I mean, he did still claim a P3 if I'm correct, but very unfortunate way.
Yeah, and we're going to have a look. This was the next lap into the chicane. So yeah, so this lap I think Toge did try to stand in a bit deeper, but he basically hit Marcel Mikov and Mr. School trying to
Yeah,
avoid the pair of them, just almost spun on his own. And Alex now joining the fight. So let's see what happened here at turn 1. Toge looking to the inside of Marcel Miku. He's on the inside. He's a lot. Yeah, he's driven deep. He's gone deep himself.
yeah.
You can see the trajectory. Marcel
I
Miku already left like 2 cars space on the inside, and Toge just was still not turning right at the point. So
I
yeah,
think in the chicane, it really was Stoge's fault. You could clearly see he did not have any time or any space to make that corner, and in that case, he really pushed Marcel Miku off. But I mean, right now we have some 3 drivers, if I'm correct, in the commentary box. Well, I'd like to start with you, Marcel. Already champion last round around. Yesterday in the Tata Scars, which I must say congratulations for. Now today, your first race, really, or first Tatu's track where you didn't get a podium. How did the race go for you?
I mean, to be honest, after the quali, I kind of felt like I more really just deserved to go to jail because of how rubbish I did there.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall in the race, I knew with the case of Parmesan that it was going to be a tough one, try to get the victory. And of
Yeah.
course, with Scoot in the play, I knew things were going to be not that easy. And of course, with Toge well coming in, it really did throw quite a big spanner. And after we pretty much separated, and it was basically me and Toge for P3, it really got quite heated. I can definitely say things did get a bit desperate at some point. But I mean, to be honest, I feel like that's just racing, just typical desperation taking over.
Exactly.
And
Now, I'm sorry if I cut you off there, but with
yeah, go
having
on.
wrapped up this championship and Parmesan and Toge now doing the final race, with the possibility of them going into next season also competing against you, how are you looking forward to season 16?
To be honest, I think the odds definitely don't think are aligned in my favor. It's going to be a tough one. So I know Parmesan, he's very quick. And in terms of Toge, I mean, I can manage to stay ahead of him, but it is going to be a tough one, especially since these cars are all about energy rather than, brakes and power. It's all about energy. It's going to be a tough one, but we'll see what happens.
Now, my final question for you is, near the end of the race, I think it was 1 or 2 laps ago, you made contact, or it appeared you made contact with Toge, and you gave the position back, which eventually cost you your podium. But then Toge gave the position back a bit. Do you then regret giving back the position because you lost out on a podium, or was it just pure, sportsmanship?
To be honest, at first I thought it was my fault that I basically chopped him off. So, which is why I handed the place back. But then I saw he wasn't, he didn't really go ahead of me. To be honest, I wasn't too concerned with the outcome because I already was champion anyway, going into the final. So really, it was just a case of unwind and see what happens.
Yes. Now, HC, do you have any questions for Marcel?
Uh, Not really. I mean, it's just incredible battles. I mean, even though some of them ended not the right way, but well, it was fun watching for us at least. But let's move
Yeah.
on to Mr. Scoot, I think, because you missed out on third place in the championship after all the battles, even though you had a lead of 3.5 seconds at one point.
Yeah, yeah, very, very unfortunate. But you know, as others have pointed out, I should just be happy with coming into this competition so late and then still finishing with a P4. So I'll take my P4 and I'll look forward to the next one.
Yeah, talk us through the. Well, first of all, you had a great battle with Parmesan and Marcel early on in the race, but then Parmesan and Marcel went side by side for about half a lap, so you pulled away by 3.5 seconds, and then Parmesan decided to do three fastest laps in a row. What were you thinking then when he did that?
Oh yeah, I knew coming to the race. I mean, he was faster in quality, he was faster in practice. I knew I did not have pace to keep up with him, but I did know that I have good racecraft and I got a good start, so I was able to keep up with him. Um, and so my whole game plan was just get past and defend like hell until he inevitably would pass me. But I think I did a pretty good job of that. So yeah, I was expecting him to catch up at every single time when I pulled away.
Okay, and then he did catch you, and you made contact into the chicane, first of all, and then on the straight kind of kink before the chicane. Can you talk us through both of the incidents?
Yeah, I think the first one, was he on the inside of the chicane or the outside? I think he was on the inside,
He
right?
was
And
on
then
the
just bumped
inside.
me wide.
Yes.
Yeah, I think yeah, he bumped me wide and he ended up the position. So no, nothing bad there. However, the more race-changing contacts for me was obviously the one on the straight. From my perspective, I was obviously holding the middle of the track. I was a little shocked he decided to go on the left of me. I was covering over more on the left side to try and get him on the outside, but he tried to squeeze his way through. He kind of tried to squeeze through right as the slope was ending. So he kind of, to him, I'm assuming it looks like he was going to run out of tarmac. I briefly glanced back at the replay, and it looked like he still had a bit of tarmac there on the left side of me. But I was turning away from him when at the time of the contact. So I don't know. To me, it seems he just tried to cover over to the right and ended up clipping my rear left quarter panel, spun me around. So I think that's on him, but we'll have to see what the stewards say.
So are you going to report it then?
Yeah, just to know, not like at the end of the day, I think we were battling hard. I can't really blame him. I know what he was trying to do, but I am just curious what the outcome of that will be.
Okay, I mean, if you don't report it, I don't think we have active investigation. So, but yeah, on the replay that I saw, he basically went to the left, so you moved to the right to leave him space. But then both of you kind of turned into each other. Of course, I don't know why my asset code doesn't have the steering thing, so I can't really see clearly. But yes, I think the stewards might have a pretty tough decision to make if that's the case. But in the end, you lost P3 by 12 points. But as you said, you did do 4 fewer races than Burge and also 4 fewer races than Alex Romsix. So do you think if you do a full season in season 16, can you challenge the likes of Marcel, Miko, and Parmesan?
Yeah, absolutely. I think in the last couple of races, I have been beating Miku in points, only barely, but yeah, if you just take like the last, I guess now 5 races and compare the points, I would be slightly ahead. So hopefully I can extend that across the whole championship, but you never know, things happen.
That is true. Anything to add, Asa?
No, I mean, you had a great race. It was clear Parmesan was faster, but you still had some great defensive work. At times it got a bit close to pushing off track, but still, I mean, good race from you, man.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's move on to Leila Pachalia. Hello, Leila.
Hello.
Do you know what happened to Maverick, first of all? Because he disconnected early on in the race.
No idea. I was on Defen.
Ah, okay, fair enough. Because
I always
that
Defen during races, so I have no idea.
that makes sense. Because that meant the fight for 5th place in the championship basically ended very early on. Because we were looking forward to it. You did join very late in the qualifying session. What happened there?
No, I didn't. I joined in the right moment. My game crashed.
Ah,
So
yeah.
at that point, I lost the qualifying. No time. I just did my best in the race.
Yes, because you were starting from the last row, but you made it up to P7
Yep.
after lap 1. How did you do that?
6, not 7.
6, okay, fair.
No, wait. P7. P7 after first lap. Then
Yes,
P6.
first lap.
Right.
Yes. How did you do
I
that first
mean,
lap?
I went for a bit of an hybrid setup. Mainly, that's what kind of helped me. I took a setup from the marketplace that was a 143.2 setup, and then mixed it with the meta setup that we have laying around in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was all about the start. I had one of the best starts ever. Like one of my best starts ever. Well, then some people like spun in front of me, so I had a bit of an advantage there. But then the rest was fighting with Burj and Glenn,
Mm-hmm.
which to both of them that was some nice racing. Although there was some questionable defending, I have to say. because I mean I understand defending, but you cannot close me the door while I'm exiting faster than you in a corner. But that's fine. And also like some risky sense that could have killed both me and him and Virgie. But apart from that, after I overtook Glenn and Virgie was still behind him, I tried to take as much place as possible, so as much time as possible from them. And then, well, Burgi came, like, he came back from the Glen defending. So I had a little fight with him. It was a little bit of back and forth between gaining time between each other. But in the end, he spun. He spun in turn 1, which put him behind Glenn again. So at that point, when it's 6 minutes left in the race, I have 12 seconds gap from Glenn, who is still in front of Burgi, who then proceeded to overtake. So I just said, okay, I have P6 secured, I just bring it home. But for the main part, for like the entire race, in sector 1, I was either gaining on the fastest lap or 2 tenths away from it. The rest was all lost in the other sectors, but in the first couple of, like in the first turns, in the first sector, I was faster.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, I think we did miss quite a bit of the battles because the front guys are fighting so much. But I did see when you went into turn 10, almost 3 wide, Burgess sent himself off because you were on the outside, I think, and Glenn was on the inside. Do you
Yeah.
remember that incident?
Yeah.
And talk us through your view.
I mean, it's not really an incident. Mainly, what's happening? I exited faster than Glenn, but also no, wait, I was already behind Glenn. Burgi exited faster than me and Glenn. So then he puts himself in the center. I put myself around the outside, and if I'm not wrong, like Virgil just went wide pretty much, which at that point I cannot really do anything. I just slowed down as much as I could, which still
Okay.
meant a little bit of a tap, but like it's not a significant tap. It didn't even move my car or his car, so it just went straight, and then I went to overtake them. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that is fair enough. And yes, you have secured P5 in the championship.
Not bad for a not bad for a rookie.
That is true. Beating a veteran like Maverick, who said he had frame rate drops. That's why he disconnected early on. So yeah,
Yeah.
technical issue for the VR driver of Maverick. But
Sadly, because he's my teammate. I'm losing. I lost my teammate early on, but I mean, for the rest, I was basically lapping the same as P5. But since same laps, it doesn't mean you gain time. Because if the guy in front of you laps the same, then where is the time gain? Nowhere. But yeah, I was for some laps I did same time as P5 and P4. Obviously they were fighting, but still same time means obviously not gonna gain anything. So I mean, I think that if I probably qualified in a better position, I could have been a bit more up. But yeah, that's my average. Not no quali all race, so
yes, this is still a decent. I can't see the team standings on the sim grid, so I have no idea what the points
I don't
is
think
for
there
the
are.
team's championship. Whether there is a
I
team
don't think
section,
there are.
there is a team section. It just has the wrong points. So I don't know.
Ah,
Mav will figure that out, but that's okay. We will need
well,
to round off the stream now. Any final words from you, Asa?
No, I mean, great race, great battle with Glenn Selk and Sandy Burgess. I must say, it was really entertaining to watch.
thank you.
Yes, and that rounds it off for MX5 series then here at Phoenix Sim Sport for season 15. Remember, season 16 is starting in 3 weeks' time. We'll have the TCR season finale coming up next in 44 minutes of time. Once again, congratulations to Marcel Miku, the season 15 champion, Alex Romsix and Sandy Burgi, who finished P2 and P3 in the standings separately, as well as to Mr. Scoot and Leila Petrali for finishing P4 and P5. We'll see you next season or later on in the TCR race. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.